Senator, would you reach in and draw a name, please?
I don't see a name.
I will say, Senator, you drew your name, so we will allow you to present first.
I can't defer. This isn't football? This isn't football. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Senator Edward Durr. I want to first thank the Salem County Chamber and the Salem County Community College for allowing us this opportunity to meet face-to-face and share our campaign strategy, the voice to everybody out here. What makes Salem County unique, aside from its tight-knit feel and down-to-earth residents, is the rural and small community quality that also offers a variety of education, unique business development opportunities, and diverse population. Since being elected senator, we experienced Inspire's partnership with Salem Hospital, making the hospital ambulatory surgery center and the physician office part of Inspire's comprehensive health network. This increases access to a high quality of convenient care for the residents. Those merger talks experienced a standstill. I had intervened and to assist the furthering of those talks to make the merger finally happen. This venture, combined with $2.5 million allocated for the 911 center, we continue to support the health care and safety and the well-being of the community members. As your senator, I have also heard the voices of those concerned about the rising costs of running a small business in New Jersey. I've heard the voices of the farmers locally, and I've heard the perils of many of our veterans faced with the life after service. I sponsored legislation known as the Set Aside Act for Disabled Veterans Business, which also includes the goal of contracting agencies award the least 3% of their contracts to disabled veteran businesses. In addition, I have sponsored a bill that allows farmers operators to allocate and depreciate certain expenditures under the corporation business gross income tax. And one of my main goals for Salem County, when re-elected senator, is to secure the deal currently in the works of bringing a grocery store back to Penn's Group and into Salem. While there may be talks of prior legislation that has benefited the residents of Salem County, my staffers who have fielded the daily calls for nearly 2 years can tell you otherwise. You see, the truth is that the 2 long decades of policies have not been able to protect you against the negative repercussions of the draconian COVID-19 mandates that further contribute to the economic decline and hardship of Salem County. The recovery has been slow or halted for some, but non-existent for many. We hear all too often stories of Salem County constituents who are living paycheck to paycheck, impacted by the hard economic times and continued rising costs of the necessities. Together with my staff, I have been able to utilize the Department of Community Affairs and the nonprofit agencies such as New Jersey Shares to assist residents with rental, weatherization, and utility assistance. We have aided numerous constituents in securing funds through the Treasury Department for non-dispersed income tax refunds and the anchor rebates. The monies that individuals have been waiting for months. My staff and I have cut through the bureaucracy that provided LD3 constituents with unemployment support and thousands of expedient temporary disability due to medical issues. Through the New Jersey Department of Labor, the process has often been difficult and frustrating for many and demonstrates the need for these offices that have been closed during COVID to be fully open and operational in person, immediate assistance provided with well-trained individuals. The same can be said for motor vehicles, where constituents can go directly there to their local location and receive immediate support with licensing and registration. To combat unemployment issues, increasing the job market in Salem County is paramount. But they need to be the right jobs, under the right circumstances that actually go to Salem County residents. I haven't seen the sound data that shows warehouse boom will bring in occupants and result in employment surge for the Salem County residents without being unintended burdens and negativity impacted on the residents' quality of life. That's why I sponsored legislation that prohibits construction of commercial industry buildings within a certain distance of residential homes without the homeowner's approval. Quality of life is important. Your property, your business, your family, your children are what matters. The truth is we are living in an unstable, unsafe times, not just locally, but at the state, national, and international level, because of the failed policies to protect citizens like you. Most recently, my staff and I worked with Congressman Van Drew's office and Congressman Chris Smith to assist families whose loved ones were stranded in Israel. They found themselves panicked over their safe return. I am happy to share that on Tuesday, our office received call that one of those families was safely reunited. We have also been able to network with the Attorney General's office to check on the status of firearms and concealed carry permits to assist constituents who want to exercise their Second Amendment rights and safely and responsibly. I'm a true believer in the sanctity of the Constitution and took an oath as your senator to uphold it. I look forward to my second term where I can continue to fight and make New Jersey a safe state as it was when I was a child. Speaking of our children, time's up. Oh. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you to Lou, thank you to the Chamber, thank you for those who chose to come out tonight, thank you for Ed, for Senator Dorff for joining us last year. I think 2 years ago, I think you had a death in your family, which prevented you from being with us. You know, politics can be odd, it can be stressful for some. It's okay to disagree, we don't have to be disagreeable. Good Senator mentioned a few things that I recall having been directly involved with. The limitations of the format of this program allow me to directly respond as I otherwise would. But let me remind everyone that 2 years ago, myself, Senator Sweeney, Assemblyman Talferro, ran a campaign based on accomplishments which included saving the hospital, saving the new plant, various other programs that were so important to our friends in Salem County. That did not carry the day because of the mood of anger that has swept this country. So we found ourselves out of office. That's how the process works. Americans have a right to raise their voice, and the ballot box is the place to do it. We respect that. I don't take it personally. And when people ask me, well, why are you running this year? It's not to settle a score. No angst grind with the good senator. It's not a football game. I can tell you I'm running this year because I have a great fire and a great focus. And I'm particularly interested in the fact that since our absence in Trenton, there's been a void of representation. There's been a void of successive programs into this 3rd legislative district, and that has to change. We do not have the luxury of going backwards. We do not have a luxury of waiting for another day. We have to be focused. And for this legislative district, for this county, for Gloucester, for Cumberland, to get its fair share, it takes active, aggressive representation that knows how to build relationships, put together deals with other parts of the state to bring resources here. There is just no other thing to talk about other than what you can deliver, how you can make things better, and what focus you have. It's been a great privilege to represent this district over the years that I did, 20 years. There can be criticisms of decisions made during that period of time. It's only natural. You don't get everything right. The law is an ever-changing thing, but you got to stay focused. You got to keep talking to people. You got to figure out what people need, and you got to be able to put things together. I can tell you, before myself and Steve were elected, and then Doug Fisher, Jack Collins and his group represented this county and this district for 16 years. Steve I. Adam, Steve I. Celeste Riley, Steve I. Adam Talferro represented it for 20 years. That's 36 years. In that 36 years, this county, this district got something. The last 2 years, first year, zero. Not a little bit, zero. That benefits no one. This is not a place for a learning curve. This is a place that you have to have people there that can get the job done. I am so privileged to be involved in this ticket with Heather Simmons and Dave Bailey. They're ready to walk into that state house and go to work. And I can tell you that relationships that I built there during the years I were there remain. A number of those people are still there. When we walk there, we will not be strangers. We will be assured important committee appointments and positions in leadership. That'll benefit all of us because you have to be in the right place, you have to have the right relationships, and you have to have the right focus. We know what we have to do here collectively. It's always about jobs. People need to have a good job. Right now, unemployment rate is low. People are still struggling, and there's more work to be done. So here's what I say to all of you. If you're kind enough to send the three of us to Trenton, you will get a legislative office made up of 3 people that talk to each other. So when you talk to Dave or Heather, you're talking to me. If you're talking to me, you're talking to the 2 of them. There'll be a high level of constituent services, not a bifurcation of an office over here and an office over there. You'll be able to get to the right person at the right time. We will also be absolutely focused on economic development where appropriate in this county and where towns want it. We have the western side of the county with its wonderful highway, its rail, its water access, and then we have this new development going on in Lower Allery's Creek in the wind industry. And by the way, voting against that does not make it better. We need those jobs, and we want to be the hub of this industry. And we're poised to do that, but we need muscle at the State House to continue it. Time is clicking down. Let me close by saying this. I really enjoy seeing all of you. I enjoy being part of the Salem County community. And if you entrust me to send me back, we will pick up where we left off 2 years ago, and we will get this voice of this county back in that State House in an effective way so we can deliver for all of you to make things better where the opportunity presents itself. I thank you for your kind attention. I ask for your support of myself, Heather Simmons, and Dave Bailey, and let's make this 3rd district what it once was, and that is a place where the other people in the state know who we are and what we expect, and we will not go home until we get our fair share. Thank you.
Gentlemen, thank you.
Thank you. All right. I finished on time.
What's that?
So that means that has to buy drinks. I finished on time.
All right.
I should have got your extra time.
There's only 20 seconds. All right. And understand the election for state senate is for a 4-year term on this cycle. The next round will be our assembly candidates. So I ask the 4 candidates for assembly to please join us on stage.
Hi, how are you? Hi.
Beth Ann, would you, as the elected official, would you do the honors of
I
drawing?
will.
You
I
know,
will.
Turn your head away and just, this is for first. Okay. And leading off tonight will be Tom Tedesco, who has a mouthful of water. So. Okay, the clock is up there. Gives you a good idea where you are. Tom, take it over.
Thank you, Lou. Good evening, everyone. My name is Tom Tedesco, and I'd like to thank the Salem County Chamber of Commerce, the Salem County Community College, and all the candidates for the opportunity to spend a few minutes, share our views and our platform for the election. I'm a lifelong resident of South Jersey. After attending Drexel University, where I received an engineering degree, I worked in Salem County in the manufacturing business for 12 years. In 2000, I opened up an engineering company, and I've run that small business since. My business focuses on civil engineering. I help people with the design of sewer systems, reconstruction of roadways, and the improvement of stormwater systems to help flooding issues throughout the county. I've raised my 3 children while living in Salem and Cumberland County. Since 2007, I resided in Hopewell Township, Cumberland County, and I absolutely love where I live. I've served in various capacities while living in Hopewell Township, including the Environmental Commission, Boswick Lake Commission, the Salem-Cumberland Soil Conservation District, and for the last 2 years, I've had the pleasure of serving the Township of Hopewell as a committeeman. From running a small business, I've had to balance a budget, make payroll. Payroll was due today, as a matter of fact. I struggled with tax increases, and I've had to deal with inflationary and recessionary periods of time. I've seen firsthand how regulations and taxes can strangle small businesses and our residents. It often seems that the approaches coming out of Trenton are one-size-fits-all policies which are designed to fit North Jersey. For 20 years, Salem County has been overlooked in what they need to start and run businesses. So why am I running? I want to be your voice in Trenton to advocate against both bone-crushing regulation and taxes. I will look at repealing or modifying already existing regulations and taxes. I have intimate knowledge of some of the most onerous regulations due to my close working relationships with various state agencies, including the DOT and the DEP, or as I like to call it, the Department of Eternal Procrastination. For example, currently I'm working on a small commercial septic design for a new business located in the middle of a very rural farm in Salem County. The DEP has had the application for 6 months. And as recent as 2 weeks ago, they asked for another 30-day extension. And all this was for the initial determination of the size of the septic system, not the actual design. Businesses must make a calculated risk of tying up capital and sometimes taking loans to wait for these approvals. When factored into a business plan, New Jersey is a tough place to start a business. We can and we must do better. And I'll have proposals to make this overbearing department more business-friendly. We must also make sure our corporate tax rate remains competitive with our neighbors. Pennsylvania will slowly reduce their corporate tax rate to 4.9% in 2031, while ours remains at 9%. For at least 20 years, our state has been on the wrong track. In 2021, the voters said they wanted to see a different approach. It would make no sense to change directions 2 years later without allowing that different approach to be implemented. So let me summarize. We need to work towards preserving our agricultural identity while also supporting good, smart growth. We need to make sure that the needs of Salem County and South Jersey are effectively represented. We need to rein in rampant regulation that is destroying the ability of businesses to start and flourish. We need to get the state to focus on important things instead of trying to mandate how parents raise their children. Let me take my experience as a business owner and an engineer to solve New Jersey's problems. I will bring a logical approach to solve problems that confronts both our residents and businesses. I thank you for listening to my platform, and I ask that you vote for myself, Beth Ann McCarthy Patrick, and Ed Durr on November 7th. Thank you very much.
Hello, everyone. I'd like to thank the Chamber and Salem Community College for hosting this event tonight. It's going to give me the opportunity to speak about my campaign for re-election to the New Jersey Assembly. I ran in 2021 because I saw Salem County and South Jersey being left behind and wanted to be a voice for my home. Since taking office, it hasn't been easy, but I love it. I've taken great steps to accomplish the goals that I've tried to put forth in bringing a voice to this county and the 3rd Legislative District. Together with Senator Edward Durr, we were able to get $2.5 million into the state budget to help upgrade the 911 system. And this system is vital to first responders and necessary to keep our residents safe. My staff and I have been committed to making sure that our office offers complete constituent services to the residents. And I know for a fact that we have helped thousands with their unemployment, that our office offers complete, I'm sorry, I'm all over the place, with the Department of Labor, sorry. And we've helped numerous people navigate issues with the Motor Vehicle Commission. And these interactions have shown to me that there needs to be large-scale reform of both the Department of Labor and the Motor Vehicle Commission. And I will work hard to make sure that our state agencies actually serve the people that they are supposed to serve instead of making residents' lives harder. We've helped residents, businesses, and nonprofits obtain grants for various improvements, equipment, and overall safety. Finally, we've helped numerous people with Medicare issues by having close working relationship with Congressman Van Drew's office. However, while I'm proud of what we've been able to accomplish with funding and helping constituents, I also want to focus on bringing change through legislation. I was proud to support legislation that offered grants to local governments to review their master plan. This would allow local government to make sure that the development is accomplished with smart growth while preserving our agricultural way of life. I've pushed for EMTs to be allowed to perform glucose testing on patients to help them better assist during emergencies. This received bipartisan support, a lot of support, actually. And I also supported legislation for training of firefighters for electric vehicle fires. We've all seen the videos. There's no doubt it's going to take forever for that. This also got bipartisan support. Even though I have bipartisan support on the bills, they have not been moved out of committee. And this is a disservice not only to my district, but to the residents of the entire state. And unfortunately, the thought process of Trenton right now, which was similar to the thought process of this district over the prior 20 years, has been to elevate partisanship over the needs of the people. Coincidentally, the state was headed the wrong direction for those 20 years. Contrary to what is being said about me, I do have a plan. However, to implement that plan, we need to keep the change that was made in 2021 and also change the mindset held by the people in power in Trenton. That will not occur if we go back to the way things were for 20 years. For these reasons, I humbly ask for your vote on November 7th for Senator Ed Durr, Tom Tedesco, and myself, change that is critical to the success of the state, South Jersey, and right here. Thanks.
Let you do this again.
All right.
Not too many choices left.
Right.
Okay. Dave Bailey.
Good evening. I, too, want to thank the Chamber of Commerce. It's kind of surreal to be on this side of the mic this year, and also our friends at Salem Community College for the opportunity to be here tonight and to share with you a little bit about myself. My name is Dave Bailey, Jr., and I am a candidate to represent our district, District 3, in the New Jersey General Assembly. Many of you in the audience tonight know my story because you've helped me live that story, and you have personally impacted my story. But for those of you who don't know, why it has prepared me for this journey to represent you, here it is in the next 270 seconds. I'm a product of parents raised in Salem County, parents from this country's greatest generation whose brothers and sisters fought in and returned from World War II, parents who made it their lifelong calling to impact the lives of children and families and raised me in a community where these special children were my brothers and sisters. The staff, extended family members. From day one, it has been instilled in me that making daily spiritual, educational, and relational deposits in my life for when tough times require withdrawals from that account. I'm a product of Salem County's fantastic schools, and the talented educators that prepared me to never fear change, challenges, and diversity in thoughts or beliefs. I'm the product of so many great male and female mentors and coaches from here in Salem County. I'm thankful that my wife, Julie, and I have been blessed to raise our 3 children here and have the quality of life in Salem County impact them as well. My record of community service is not a secret. It's been on display for all to evaluate as a youth basketball and lacrosse coach here in Salem County, in my 18 years on the Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors, 10 years on the Salem Community College Foundation Board, nearly 20 years in the Rotary Club of Woodstown, and my time serving on the Salem Memorial Hospital Community Board. I have worked within these organizations to instill confidence in teamwork within youth, grow and support local businesses, create opportunities for students to continue their education, sustain and strengthen our local health care, and support local municipalities through civic mindedness. I am a product of leading a large nonprofit organization here in Salem County for the past 18 years, and I'm proud to say that we will celebrate its 60th anniversary next year. It has been our ability to recruit talented professionals, research and create integrative mental health, education, and summer camp services, construct and improve new treatment homes, use clean energy, technology, and wastewater infrastructure, all while making sure that our staff are able to support their families and grow professionally. This happens in no small part due to the relationships we have created and support we have received from countless individuals, churches, and corporate partners, many of whom are represented here tonight. Being open to change while keeping our core values has allowed us to weather many storms and celebrate so many triumphs in the lives of thousands of people. I've had the opportunity to create relationships with legislators from both sides of the aisle here in New Jersey in my role on the board of the New Jersey Alliance for Children, Youth, and Families. It is these relationships that have allowed my colleagues and I to impact state policies and bring millions of dollars in funding for children and families in need of mental health services. I'm a product of this county, and so my family and I have decided it is now the time to take on this new challenge, a challenge that I accept only because you have played a role in preparing me for it. Know that if you elect me as your representative in the General Assembly, I will utilize everything I have learned, experienced, and every relationship I have been blessed with to serve this entire community. I'm thankful to join John and Heather on this journey, 2 talented leaders that also embody being public servants in the arena. I will rely upon them and you as we all continue to work together. I've promised my family and I promise you that no matter what happens, what the outcome is on October the 7th, I will not have changed. You know that if you call me before October 7th, I will answer my phone and I will do my best to help you find answers for all your problems. Rest assured, the same will be true on October 8th, but I will say that our list of contacts will have grown exponentially. My friends, elections have consequences. I believe we made a quick and rash decision 2 years ago. It reminds me of, and I close with these words of the great African proverb, if you want to run fast, you run alone. If you want to run far, we run together. Thank you, and God bless you all.
I'm going to do this a little oddly because I'm a little short to stand behind the podium. I'm sorry, Beth Ann.
No, go right ahead.
I'll sit on Beth Ann's lap.
Actually, that's good. You go right ahead.
Thank you, Lou, and to the Salem County Chamber and to Salem Community College for hosting us this evening, allowing us the opportunity to introduce ourselves. Thank you to those who took time away from your evening to attend this event. I'm glad I'm not the one standing between you and the end of the Phillies game. And I want to thank those who are taking the time to watch virtually as well. These are important times. There's a lot happening in Washington that we can't control, but we sure can control what's happening here. For the last 12 years, I've had the honor of serving as a Gloucester County Commissioner. I live in Glassboro. I have lived in Glassboro for 17 years. I have lived in southern New Jersey for 32 years. I grew up in Philadelphia. I attended St. Joseph's University, and the first job that I got after college was at Gloucester County College, doing public relations and community affairs. It is now Rowan College of South Jersey, representing Gloucester and Cumberland counties. I became a freeholder in 2011, now commissioner. I was asked to jump into the race, and I laughed. And I said, who would be dumb enough to do that? But I took it home, and I spoke to my family. And my father-in-law said to me that I wasn't allowed to complain anymore that women didn't have a voice in government if I wasn't willing to toss my hat into the ring. And so I did. And I never looked back, because I learned quickly that campaigns are tough, and they can be mean, and they can be angry. But the thing that's important is the government. That's what you get to do after the election is over with, because that involves the people. That involves the opportunity to sit in people's businesses with them, to sit in their classrooms, to attend community meetings, to become a member of a chamber, to learn what's really happening in a community and be able to work with the people who live in that community and work there to make changes that are important to those people. So over the last 12 years, I've had the honor of serving as freeholder commissioner liaison to a number of different departments and doing a lot of different things where I've really gotten to work with people. I have overseen economic and workforce development. In economic development, the focus is dual-fold, right? We work mostly with our Main Street businesses, recognizing that 89% of the 16,000 businesses in Gloucester County are small businesses, and the vast majority of those are micro businesses, so under 20 employees, the way we count it. It's the same here in Salem County. It's exactly the same thing in hometown communities like this across the country. Our Main Street businesses are the backbone of our economy. I've also worked with our major employers in industry and our major industries, including healthcare and energy. In healthcare, we were a major part of helping Inspira construct its new facility in Mullica Hill, both on the facilities end, on the education end, and on the infrastructure end. Because we understand that for a major employer to make an investment in the community, a lot of things have to come together. And that includes having a talented workforce, trained and ready to go to serve the customers, clients, and patients. It includes having the infrastructure in place, water and sewer, utilities, roadways. It includes having a solid education system. It includes having a stable tax base. In Gloucester County, I've had the privilege of being able to work on all of these things. In Salem County, the same is happening here, and there's a lot more to do. It's been my privilege to get to know many of you over the last several months, and I look forward to the opportunity to work with you even more if you decide to send me and John and Dave to Trenton to represent you. John was absolutely right that we speak with one voice. When you're talking to any one of us, you're talking to all three of us. We will have an office here in Salem County, and when you come into that office, there will be someone there to serve you. We will all be together working for you to preserve your quality of life, to preserve the rural character that makes Salem County so special, to bring in major employers, to support small businesses, to make this a place where people want to work, learn, play, and grow. I want to thank you all for your time. Thank you for taking the time to listen to all of us. I look forward to working with you and to serving you. Good evening.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Yep. We're getting close to the end. Our next and last presenters will be our county commissioner candidates. So would you gentlemen take your seats, and I will draw for first this time. Okay. I didn't look either. This is a little, okay. Nelson Carney, you will lead off on this one.
There we go. Good evening. I am Nelson Carney Jr., candidate for Salem County Commissioner. I want to thank Salem Community College and the Chamber for inviting us again this year. This is my third year in a row running. I'll give a little background on myself. I'm a father, born and raised here in Salem County. I attend Salem City School District, where my parents still reside. I'm a husband, father, and grandfather. After high school, I started my career in Atlantic City for 10 years as a cook. Then I decided to change careers and become a truck driver for 4 years for Cancel Harold in Elmer, New Jersey. Then after I started having a family, I got employment at Mannington Mills for 22 years until 2017. Then I started working for Salem County Public Works. And now I'm working for Salem City School District at this time. I am also the owner of my own catering business, Nelson Carney Jr. Catering. I'm the president for Salem County NAACP for the past almost 10 years. I was chief shop steward for CWA for the county, and I'm past school board president for the Woodstown Paws Grove School District, where I served 3 years. What made me want to run for office? As a community leader, I had established a good working relationship with all leaders in the county. Prosecutor's office, sheriff's department, school boards, principals, and just everyone that had a say-so in the county. When I asked my wife, how did she feel about me running for commissioner, she said I was crazy, but she had my back. In 2021 and 2022, I ran the first and second time for commissioner and lost. So in 2023, I decided to run again. They say the third time's a charm. Let's hope so. I asked myself, what could I do different this time than I didn't do the first 2 times? Number 1 was to have faith, determination, and listen to what the county residents are asking or saying. A lot of people don't even know what a commissioner is or what the commissioner does. So I explained to them, there used to be called freeholders, and some people still say they don't know what they do. So I explained to them that they oversee the county tax and the county budget. Then we go to conversations about how bad our roads are in this county. They are as a past employee of the Public Works, there's about 400 miles worth of road in Little Salem County that I maintain, and at this time they are in a lot of bad shape roads. Salem County in the past 5 years has raised our county taxes over $25 million, folks. That's real money. A lot of money that we have nothing to show for. We have a beautiful train that goes for 18 miles through Woodstown to Squeezeboro. That is beautiful. My concern is when people come into the county and they see how bad our roads look to travel in Salem County, that it just doesn't look good for us. There are several bad roads as I've been out campaigning that I've talked to folks. Roads like Acton Station Road in Quinton Township, Strong's Mill Road in Pedricktown. People are saying they're tired of paying their tax dollars and the roads look like pure hell. Salem County deserves much better. We need the transportation. They talk about warehouses and jobs. We have warehouses, we have jobs, but a lot of folks don't have transportation to get to them. We need to have some kind of sort of transportation to get folks to the warehouse jobs. There's funds for that. Salem County can do it. as commissioner, I would see that we get those transportations for the people to get to jobs. At the end of the day, I just want to be the voice for the people of Salem County. I want to do the right thing and listen to their concerns and speak on their behalf. In closing, I want to leave you with the kind words of Aunt Maya Angelou. People will forget what you say. People will forget what you did. But people will never forget how you make them feel. God bless you. I'm Nelson Corney, Jr., your voice for Salem County Commissioner.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Ed Ramsey, Commissioner Ed Ramsey. I've been serving now on the board for 3 years, and it has been an absolute honor and a privilege. I've had the opportunity to work with many people throughout the county on some interesting and somewhat difficult transactions that we've put together, all for the benefit of Salem County. 3 years ago, when I came to you, I expressed a desire to finish the railroad. We have finished the railroad, and the railroad is flourishing. Our railroad contractor, SMS Rail, out of Logan Township, has made commercial deliveries on the rail line, and through their subsidy, Woodstown Central is bringing in tourism train to the county. It is up and running now. It is all antique cars, 1942 or 3 coal-fired engine, old caboose. I have a 1903 wooden county or railroad executive car, which would have been an airplane to our executives today. Old box cars. It's an 18-mile ride from Swedesboro to Salem, and having ridden it, and if you haven't, please do so. It literally captures everything Salem County offers. Ride through the small towns, across the farms, through the woodlands, the meadowlands. We have a trestle that you cross, a couple bridges. You go over or under in some cases, and it is going to be a great asset for the county in both developing commercial business and tourism. And we're really thrilled to death to have that. Since completing the railroad, we've made additional improvements, sidelings. We're making improvements to the street crossings. Salem Yard will be restored here in the next year or two. We'll also be rebuilding the bridge over the Salem River in Salem City as well. So the railroad is up and moving, it's running, and it's a great effort. It was a 20-year effort, started by then freeholder Beth Timmerman back around 05, 03, give or take. It went through numerous hands, bipartisan support the entire 20 years. Sue Bestwick was a big part of it. Julie Acton was a big part of it. Charlie Hassler proved to everyone that you could get an engine in the Salem City, despite the fact that you needed a few crowbars to keep the rail in line. Charlie got the engine in, and it was a great day for Salem City. Other areas, I'm charged with liaison to economic development, roads and bridges. Nelson, since you spoke about the roads, I'll agree with you 110%. They are in bad shape. I've been dueling that battle out for 3 years now. However, we are making progress. We had an engineering department and a road department that lacked qualified supervisors. We corrected that by obtaining good, qualified people that knew the business, had been in the business, and they were not just political appointees as they had been in previous years. Through the engineering department, we have found approximately $7 million that the county has spent on road projects that are completed but not yet closed out through DOT. Roughly about $3 million in railroad and another $4 million in the roads. We're in the process of closing those projects out and recouping that money. Additionally, I obtained a $2 million grant through the DOT in cooperation with New Jersey EDA, Economic Development Authority, to redo Acton Station Road. That is in design phase now, and we hope to be paving sometime next year on that. I also obtained a $500,000 grant to restore the now closed and has been closed for some 20 years, New Bridge of all names, in Lower Alloway Creek. The $500,000 grant will provide conceptual design that is the first step in applying for further federal grants so that ultimately we can replace that bridge and make it an active route. Wow, 9 seconds left. Let's see, I brought in another $1 million grant for a Megatronics program through the vocational and county college, and an additional $200,000 with a welding program for the college, or for the VOTEC, and a painting program. I would like to have your vote to continue my 3 years, another 3 years in office. I thoroughly enjoy it, and I believe I brought good leadership to the seat. Thank you.
Thank you. Take it. All right. That does bring us to the conclusion of candidates forum. There is time afterwards out in the lobby to interact again for a few minutes, and I know everyone wants to check the Phillies score because I don't know what's going on there, but it wasn't good to begin with. Thank you to everyone first who attended, but thank you more to the candidates. You're giving your time to us. We appreciate that. Your service is appreciated. So with that, folks, thank you for being here, and good night.